Yo, we're shaking everybody. It's your boy State of the State of the New York Knicks podcast. My guy Nemo, what's up, man? I appreciate you. You in here fast and bright and early. God damn. You in here. I appreciate it, man. Wow. Late night Knicks talk. A lot of news came out from the New York Knicks today and in the building. Of course, I got my guy because I don't need to do the extra. I don't need to do all the extra like introduction, all this crazy nonsense. I got Recap in the building. And
fam.
What's up, man? Recap, how you doing? How's the family? How's everybody, man? How you progressing with life?
Good, man. Family good. Everything's going good. You know, hard at work. Just keep my head down. Continue to push out content. You know how it is, man.
Yeah, man. So let's start off right away. Mo Cheeks. We got him today. I seen a lot of complaints on the Knicks Twitter timeline when it came to Mo Cheeks. And Mo Cheeks obviously played for the Philadelphia 76ers. And he was the assistant coach on the OKC staff. This is a guy that Adrian Wojnarowski, he announced a tweet today, and the tweet says the New York Knicks are planning to hire Maurice Cheeks as an assistant on Tom Thibodeau's coaching staff, sources tell ESPN. A Hall of Fame guard, has been a 3-time head coach in the NBA, and most recently on Billy Donovan's staff in Chicago and Oklahoma City. What's your initial thoughts on this particular hire? And also, shouts to StreamYard. Appreciate StreamYard. Like, I love you guys. Y'all guys show me so much love. But what is your thoughts on this hire, and does it affect anybody else on the bench? Because I also seen tweets of, oh, what about Johnny Bryan, and then who job he gonna take, and this, that, and the third. So how you feel about everything?
First, let me just congratulate the hire. I think that gets lost in all of this. I think that a lot of people aren't giving that enough credit. That's a great hire, first of all. Love the fact that the Knicks picked him up. One thing not mentioned, by the way, he's a best friend to Tom Thibodeau. And if you need somebody on the bench that you're going to actually listen to, you might as well get somebody that's Thibs' best friend, because at the end of the day, that's going to be your top priority to listen to that guy. So 100% love the hire. No issue for me. I don't think there's a limit to assistant coaches. So if there's not a limit, I really don't care. I mean, from what I saw with Johnny Bryan, he was supposed to be up for the Cavs job. Now Cavs are moving in a different direction. He's not even a runner-up from my understanding. I don't think he's going up after any other job. So I don't think his job is in jeopardy. Again, I don't know if there's a limit to the assistant coaches. I guess we have to really check that out. Maybe there's a limit to how many can be on the bench. But if that's the case, I really don't mind it, because at the end of the day, the reason you get these assistant coaches is to help you in certain areas. And if Mo can help you in more practice, to help get you a more of a understanding of a real game situation, which is exactly what I wanted him in there for. You need somebody who can bring that. And he's exactly the type of player coach who can do that. I think that's exactly what the Knicks needed. It's a small addition, but it can play off in a real good way, depending on how Thibodeau utilizes him. And also, he has respect basically from everybody around the league. So when you come into a staff with that already there, and the whole team already is buying into what Thibodeau's saying, if Thibodeau says, hey, listen, I trust this guy, he's my best friend, and if he's going to say something, it's going to help you guys get better, that just makes the team more united. So I love the hire. I see no issue with the people who are making a fuss on it on the timeline. Really, I think are just trying to find something to argue about. I mean, there's really nothing to argue about with this. We don't even know if it affects anything. And if it does, what a great way to, cover it up. If you lose Bryan, God forbid, look what you get afterwards. You get Mo back. I mean, I don't want to lose anybody, but if I had to, it's not a bad replacement, is it?
Nah, it's not. And I think personally, Johnny Bryant job is safe. I think the one thing that's missing from all of this, and that's something that I point out a lot with James Dolan, another hire of a minority. That's something that I really value when it comes to this organization. And another tweet here, shout outs to Nick Videos. Cheeks has recently served as an assistant coach on the Bulls, which I stated before, since 2020. And he's been the head coach of the Trailblazers, 76ers, and the Pistons, to be more specific. I seen a picture of Mo Cheeks with Rick Brunson back in the day. And when I seen that picture, I said, wow, maybe the point guard. I'm just thinking about the point guard mind in this guy. Maybe he could come in and he can help with certain guys on the roster. So shout out to the chat. These guys is they on the roll already. I appreciate you, Namor. State, do you think Johnny Bryan returns to the Knicks because we hired an assistant coach? I believe Recap just literally just answered that question. Shouts to Recap. Semi, man, appreciate you pulling up. Mo gonna teach Brunson the point guard ropes. I don't know how much he can.
I mean, one thing I will say, I wouldn't say he teaches him more point guard chops. I will say maybe he'll understand more of where players are on the court. I think that's important when you're a point guard because you need to know awareness of where players are, have the trust to make that pass, and the ability to, trust it and understand where you're going to move next, because that's a little bit more Steph Curry-esque, and he's already been doing that this past year. And if he continues this trajectory, it's only going to get better for him. So I can understand it in that situation. Maybe he gets his court awareness more open, so he's not isolating the ball as much, not using the shot clock as much, passing the ball around more, because it makes the game easier for him. If you create more lanes in the paint for him, it's going to make the game easier. So hopefully that's something he talks about. But to your point, Stan, I mean, the guy's already he broke down the door of superstar for me. So, I mean, at this point, you can only teach a superstar so much,
That's very true. I just think that Mo Cheeks, shouts to Mo Cheeks, and just giving y'all just random like information on Mo Cheeks. Mo Cheeks, New York's newest assistant coach, played 2 seasons for the Knicks in 1989 and 1990 and 1991 seasons. The Knicks traded Rod Strickland to acquire him on February 21st, 1990. So it's a lot of history there when it comes to the New York Knicks and Mo Cheeks. And here's another tweet. Shouts to Charlotte, LTK, these guys over there. You got Thibs as the head coach. You got assistant coach Johnny Bryant. You got the assistants Brady, Brunson, Ehrman, Greer, Harrington, analytics assistant, Yoshimoto. Now we got Mo Cheeks. I think this is a strong staff.
Yeah.
And it also signifies to me, and I want your take on this because I was thinking about this earlier, as I was coming home. Will the Knicks draft this year? Because if you get a guy like Mo Cheeks, right, the point guard and the guy who could direct people with that, it also spells for development. You get what I'm saying? You need help on the bench so Thibs don't got to worry about the developmental part. I just want Thibs to worry about coaching. And we're gonna get into Thibs a little later, but I want him to just worry about coaching. But you got Deuce. I'm definitely gonna throw a name at you later on when it comes to the draft. A name that a lot of people didn't talk about as much lately, but Deuce and these other guys. So as far as like Mo Cheeks is concerned, what does that tell you about the Knicks culture that he wanted to come here? And he played for the Knicks in 1989, way back then. He played for the Philadelphia 76ers. He'd been with Rick Brunson and all of this. Like, what do you think attracted him to the New York Knicks? Because it takes 2 to tango, at the end of the day.
I think the attraction really comes from the fact that with the New York Knicks right now, we've built ourselves into a contender. Who the hell's not attracted to a contender? I'm attracted to a contender. There's a reason sometimes the Lakers job was turned down. There's a lot of rumors about why that job was turned down. Do you really want to go to the Lakers and try to win there? Because each and every coach that goes there, you have a year really to kind of do anything. And then after that, sure, you can go home and get paid. But is that really what you left the job you had for? So with Hurley kind of not taking that job, I kind of understood it. And I think when it comes to, with Mo coming to the Knicks, it speaks, he could have went anywhere. And his services could be used anywhere. He fits everywhere. So the fact that he chose to come here means a lot. The fact that he chose to come on a Thibs coaching staff tells me more, because I thought a lot of people told me that Thibs doesn't listen to his coaching staff. That's been the real big narrative out there. And if you're hiring somebody like Mo, and he's coming on the coaching staff, he's one of Tom Thibodeau's closest friends. You're telling me Thibs is not going to listen to him? Why are you bringing him on then? No, makes sense.
That's a fact. I love this hire. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
there's no bad to it. There's really no bad to it. We don't even see the future of it yet. That's a crazy part right now. We only see the surface moves of it. We don't know how deep it goes, and I think that's the crazy part. When you give him time, and he gets time put in, That's when you're going to see the magic. Right now, we're just talking about the seeds. We haven't even seen anything sprout yet. That's the best part. We can wait to see that. And that's the development you're talking about. I know you were speaking about the draft. The Knicks are absolutely going to draft a player. People are not going to like this answer that I'm going to give. They're going to trade those picks. Those first round picks are gone. They're going to trade them either for two things, a star, or they're going to trade up in the draft. But even if they trade up in the draft, you got to figure out who the players they're going to target are. They need a wing right now for OG Anunoby. They need a backup because OG Anunoby, he can't be trusted to play a full season. He's never played a full season. So, and it's not a knock to OG. It's a fact. You got to call it what it is. I love OG. I think he's a great fit when healthy, but the when healthy part is something you got to look at. So you got to draft people that's going to help you when he's not there. And there's a couple kids that kind of fit the mold there. But obviously, if you're drafting and trying to trade up, there's probably a wing you're looking at trying to get. Probably Ware is probably one of them. I don't know if he'll fall to where the Knicks can try to get those picks too, because you think about it, if you even want to get to like the lower pick state, 12 or 11 or 13 or 14, you have to include a player with those picks to get there, because those two late round 20 picks are not going to get you to 14. They might not even get you to 18. No. So, I mean, you got to think about that if you're the Knicks. There also is the thing that nobody's talking about. I feel like I'm the only person talking about this. The second day 2 with the second round of the draft, the Knicks think they can strike gold in the second round. They've done it before. Pick number 38. And there's a lot of talk about certain players, certain rings, like, Dunn being one of them, right? Who could potentially fall in the second round. He falls to the second round, and the Knicks are able to pick him up there. Why did they need those first rounders then? You just drafted the backup that you wanted anyways. So I think there's a lot of things that we're going to look at that we're not going to see the moves until draft night, because there's so much things that can happen. The fact that this draft is quote unquote weak means there's a lot of people that can move around, and we don't know who could drop. And depending on that, I think that sets up everything else. That's going to set up the bogey extension, which sets up, whether they do it or not, which sets up the next move. So all of those things are going to be connected. June 26th, June 27th, those are the days to watch. When draft night comes, that's when the Knicks move, that first move when the offseason starts.
So it's interesting that you bring that up. So I'm going to just keep flowing off of what you just said, right? So we're going to bring up the Thibs interview. We'll bring that up in a few. Let's bring up the dates, right? June 24th, deadline for OG Anunoby to exercise his player option, $19.9 million. Now, for me, I'm paying Paper Man. I'm paying him, right? I don't want to pay him.
No, you have to pay him. You have to, though. You know that, right? You have to pay him.
You got to pay him because I watched 17 wins and 21 wins go out the door. So you got to pay him.
It's not only that. It's all the assets you gave up to get him. You can't justify letting them go after giving up basically, like you say, all the kids for basically nothing. You can't let them walk anymore. You have to re-sign them now.
Yep. 25-6, a 24.5 net plus minus rating when him, Randall, and Brunson share the court.
Lethal.
If the Knicks culture is what we're all saying, and this is just me, he'll opt in. And he will opt in, and I will pay him whatever he wants next time. Whatever he wants, I pay him. I will pay him regardless if he gets hurt next season, because I'm under the mindset that Leon Rose will get, some type of insurance for him. And we're definitely about to talk about the draft because that's the next date that comes up, right? And how do you feel about what I just said when it comes to OG and Anunoby? Because if he opts in, that changes the dynamic of partially damn near the whole offseason, because now he leaves money on the table. The Knicks can make other moves. We get the under the deal table like a mob boss supposed to do, and I think we can move forward like that. How do you feel like that? What do you think is the percentage on him just opting in? And I listen to Marc Berman talk about
1%. About 1%. He's not opting. That's foolish. It doesn't make no sense at all. Talk about leaving money on the table. This man's never seen the amount of money he's about to leave on the table if he opts in. This man can make up to 35 to 40 million. He's likely going to get 35. Here's Berman's exact quote to me. Quote, or at least close to it. Leon Rose and the Knicks are basically led by CAA. His agent is Sam Rose. This man is going to get paid. He's going to get paid a lot of money. he might take a discount, but the discount, if it's supposed to be 40, might take 35. That's basically where I think his floor is. 35 is what he gets, and then anything higher than that is if somebody else matches it. And something else Berman's mentioned as well too. That story about the 76ers potentially being interested in OG Anunoby, he mentioned that potentially that was done by CAA to show the value of OG Anunoby to other people around the organization, including one James Dolan. So that is something to note there as well. So I don't know, again, what the situation is about other teams potentially involved in OG, but the only way he gets that $40 million is if another team legitimately comes in with that offer. If they don't come in with that offer, expect him to get 35, but 35 is the lowest. He's not going to get lower. He's not going to get 30. If anybody was hoping for that, it's not going to happen.
Shout out to OG Anunoby, Paper Man. My issue with Paper Man, and not to sound so harsh on him, he's one of the reasons why we lost to Indiana. Can't stay healthy.
Oh
I listened to Marc Berman on your pod.
Yeah.
RJ quote. I
knew you were going.
RJ Barrett would have played. Quickly would have played. And that's my same feeling. If OG would have been healthy, we would have beat Indiana. We would have got slaughtered by the Celtics, but we'd have damn sure beat Indiana. I'm just confident in whatever goes on with OG Anunoby. I'm just hoping that he resigns, and he will resign. I think I love OG, man. I just think he's soft in that nature as far as like his body. I wrote about it too. I need him to eat better, sleep better. He's in the new city, right? You're not in Toronto no more, brother. you go get you some lobster tails or something, bro. Get you some
well, let me ask you this: do you think that Tom Thibodeau does a good job in conditioning his players?
Absolutely.
So then OG Anunoby's going to benefit, no?
He will during the offseason. Remember, we got him half of the season, so
that's right.
Kind of unfair for me to. Like it's two sides to every coin. Like I can't.
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it because I didn't have.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you said a lot before. I was making sure you said everything. You focused on one thing for about 15 minutes, and then you just came in right now for the last 30 seconds and said that, acting like you said everything. So I just want to make sure he's on the same page. That's all.
I'm not gonna lie about it. You get what I'm saying?
You're just gonna mention it at the very last second. That's all. Cool.
Cool. Listen. We got OG in the note. If you want me to make the excuse for him, just to talk about both sides. We got OG in the Nobi in half of the season. When we got him, we're trying to acclimate this guy within the system, within the city. So the only way to do that is play this guy major minutes. But on top of the fact that nobody expected Randall to get hurt, nobody expected for iHeart to miss time, nobody expected believe Brunson missed time a little bit. So it's kind of tough to like really gouge what he could do when Thibs had to play him 7 straight games, 40 plus minutes, because you're won every damn game. and if it's about winning, then I mean,
what else is about then? If it's what did you just say? If it's about what else is it about then? If it's not about winning, what you want then? You want to watch them play basketball and fucking win or loss?
I would prefer for him not to play OG Anunoby 40 minutes in early January.
That's where we agree. I think that there are certain games where you need to trust the players that you have and understand that you're playing for a purpose. The purpose is the postseason. If that's the goal, you need to work in a way to get there. And I think that's true. I agree with that to that extent with Berman. I know. Well, I'll let you get to it with the interview with Thibs, but. Once we do get there, and I know they mentioned the minutes thing, I wanted to address that because I know Berman mentioned the minutes thing as well too, and I think it's a different thing that they're talking. It's not the same thing. It's very, very different. But people are making it seem like it's the same, but it's not. Completely two different things they were talking about. But I'll let you go into. I don't want to rush too far ahead.
It's interesting, right? Matter of fact, let's get in. You had Marc Berman. Let's get to the Marc Berman thing and then to the Thibs thing, and then I guess we can get to the draft thing. You had Marc Berman on your show. Such a wonderful interview, by the way. Appreciate you for that. A lot of insight in that interview. And a lot of people don't like Marc Berman. Marc Berman is like a spirit animal for me personally. Like, and he said a lot of things during that pod. I was like, yeah, thank you. And the one thing that stuck out to me was the whole moment when he talked about magical season.
Yeah.
And for me, being a 20 plus year Knicks fan, I had another Knicks fan today send me a picture of the 90s Knicks. And on that picture showed every single loss in the playoffs for the 90s Knicks. And I said to that Knicks fan, all you got for me is memories of losing. I mean, it's just the truth. So when I hear Berman say 52 years, what is magical? Okay, we was injured. Okay, cool. No problem. But let's put it in perspective. Like, it's 52 years. At some point, we got to put on our fucking battle boots and say, all right, man. At some point, when I hear you say we're going to trade both first round picks to move up. Okay, cool. Where's the star coming from? Enough. I'm sick of waiting. I'm done with waiting.
So, State, listen, brother. First of all, let me just this magical thing. You got to get roasted. You're trying to roast me on the timeline, so I'm gonna roast you real quick. That magical thing is absolutely 100% true. Even Berman agrees with it. The Knicks, as hobbled as they were, getting to the second seed. Nobody expected that. Nobody. Jalen Brunson turned into a superstar right before our eyes. Even though I thought he was one before that, I called it way before when, and he turned into one this year, even more so than I ever thought he could be. So that happened. Another magical moment there. We were this close to getting past the Pacers, going to the Boston Celtics. We lost OG in the midst of that Indiana series when he was having the best game of his Knicks career. So we want to really put everything in perspective. We got to put it all in perspective. Let's put it all on the table. Now, should they have beaten Indiana? I absolutely agree they should have. The performance in Game 7, which doesn't get talked about enough, was atrocious. I don't even know what they were even doing out there. It was hard to watch that. It really was hard to watch. But at the same token, I understand it from this vein. When you thought you were going to have OG Anunoby play that game, and I'm sure they thought they were going to get OG playing maybe 25 minutes. And then when you saw him play, you didn't see him look good. Then you didn't see him really play well. And then he wasn't utilizing his skill set well. And then Tom Thibodeau had to pull him. It kind of takes a lot of the steam out of you when you kind of put your faith into that. And I think that's something else that doesn't get talked about either. So do I think that the Knicks made mistakes? Yes. Do I think they can do better? Absolutely. But I think the way they do better is understanding what they have and the mistakes that they made. Because the mistakes that they made can be corrected with what they have already. And that's why they need to be very careful in free agency and not just grab everything that looks shiny and good and important. Paul George, right? Don't go after crap like that. Go after things that will help you now and in the future. Things that potentially you can either flip or things that will definitely help you now because it fills a need. That's what they want to do in the draft. Fill a void, as Ian Bagley put it, right? Draft something that fills a void that they saw with the Pacers. Same thing what's going to happen in free agency. Same thing when they target trades. So this season, State, whether we hate it or not, whether, the Knicks should have done this, should have done that. The Knicks, because of this season, has positioned themselves better than any team probably in the league after this particular season. They have every single opportunity and advantage right now to do what you want them to do. Go get that star. But you're caught up with the order. I don't care if it's role player, draft, superstar, draft, role player, superstar, role player, draft. You want to know why? Because come September when it's training camp, everybody is going there. And that's what I'm looking at. So I don't care in what order he wants to operate. I just care about what the end result is. And if the end result is getting me that superstar that I've been promised, as well as getting me the role players that you need to win, because yes, you need a bench, and then also getting a draft pick, so that way you can develop the future. Why am I mad? Why am I mad if he did it 3-2-1 instead of 1-2-3?
Yo, and it's funny because this goes when you was talking about this offseason and everything. Shouts to Chad McFly. We need another big. I love Mitch, but he gets hurt too often. I would get Moses Brown or trade up to get Edie. You know, shouts to D Banks. Knicks need to draft Ryan Dunn. Let Mo Cheeks help develop him. I like that idea. Namor, shouts to you. The guys report that the Knicks feel confident that Isaiah Hartenstein and OG and Anunoby will return. We're reading reports. I mean, you know, I'm confident in the squad returning, but
he's talking about the Ian Begley report that he reported that in his mailbag that he felt confident that both Isaiah Hartenstein and OG Anunoby would re-sign with the Knicks based off of feelings that they heard earlier in the offseason. And I think the feelings haven't changed much since then. And depending on, I think it's only based on contract right now, State. Honestly, the person we have to worry about the most is iHeart, I think, versus OG. I don't know about how you feel about that.
iHeart, listen, man. I've said my piece on the timeline a couple times, man.
Have you said it on here, though? Have people heard your piece on iHeart here?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, actually.
So first things first, I'm not paying them $16 million per. Let's get that out the way first.
You're not paying him $16 million?
No.
You're not paying him $16 million.
Shoot threes. He can't shoot. He can't space the floor. If you're gonna tell me he's gonna space the floor, I'm gonna bring up his 3-point percentage. It's at some point I need a big who can space the floor because that big is gonna help affect everybody else's game. I don't need iHeart's passing if I have Julius Randle. That's one. Two, I watch iHeart in the playoffs. Embiid averaged 33 and 12, I believe. And Indiana just had they was just getting in the paint whenever they wanted, and Miles Turner just dog walked them that whole series. The only way you could justify paying iHeart 16 plus million for me, because I look at Zach Collins, I'm looking at Yusuf Nurkic, he's butt. Jared Allen, I'm not paying them 200. I'm not paying them 20 million. That's blasphemous. Brooke Lopez, okay, he won a championship. He getting paid 24 million. I'm not giving him 16 million, but you can justify it if you go get a guy like Zach LaVine. You know, you go get one a current all-star, because now that you got to go over the second apron anyway. It's like a gift and a curse right now, right? Either you want to go over the second apron while resigning iHeart and OG, or you want to go over the second apron and you want to have a guy like Zach LaVine or one of these current all-stars along with iHeart and OG. I'm going with the latter because I'm trying to win a chip. I don't care about the cap space. I don't care about waiting. I don't want to wait no more. Leon Rose in year 5. Why I gotta wait another season? Why I gotta wait?
What does one have to do with the other? Why does iHeart's money have to do with Zach LaVine or whoever comes here?
Because I could get, you know what centers remind me of in the NBA? They're like halfbacks. They're like halfbacks in the NFL. I get one. They come a dime a dozen. The Celtics.
So Mitchell Robinson. You can draft another iHeart and have the same impact that you had last season.
Absolutely.
What?
Absolutely.
Hold on. So
but Randall, everybody else healthy?
With team healthy. So put this again. Team healthy. You're telling me I can draft an iHeart and put him in, and I have the same impact that iHeart has?
Yup. In this system, yup.
Man, I don't believe that at all.
Healthy Randall, healthy OG. You telling me you got another wing? Are you kidding me? Yeah, you're damn right.
You think the center position? You think the center position is that easy to just replace? That doesn't matter who you have there.
I'm saying if I'm only overhauling the center position if we get in a guy like Zach LaVine or one of those guys. I'm absolutely doing it, bro, and I'm absolutely drafting a young big, bro. Absolutely, I trust Thibs. That's what I'm like. I trust the coach.
If you're getting rid of iHeart and something that gets you that superstar, it doesn't make sense. You want to retain those key players that got you there. iHeart was a part of that. Mitch. OG a part. Mitch is injured, bro. Look, all right. You know what? You want to go there? Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson needs to fucking be traded, bro. This guy has no business. How you got a backup that misses more games than your starters does? Why you want a backup that does that?
Yo,
How he got a backup to the backup? We got Jericho Sims backing up our backup because he might miss games. Our backup might miss games, so we got to get a backup for him.
Look,
This is what you talking about with me?
I'm willing to take a chance like how the Celtics took
a chance on Mitchell Robinson when each and every year of his career has been injured.
Mitch is a better defender than iHeart. And he's going to cost less.
iHeart's better in every other thing.
What you don't need that if you got Randall.
Everything else.
I don't need his passing if I got Randall. I don't need it.
You don't need passing.
I don't need his passing.
Pass, by the way.
Why would I need?
Where does he pass? Where does he pass from? Where does he pass from?
Matter of fact, the high post.
Perfect. Where's Randall at? Where's Randall at though?
Okay.
Where's Randall at?
He's on the left block.
So he's catching the ball then. Oh, thank you so much then. I appreciate you.
Hold on. Randall wasn't catching it in the high post.
He could catch it. He could catch it anywhere, can't he? Because he can make a play from anywhere, right? So then, so iHeart can't find him. Like he's finding like he found Precious, like he found Jalen, like he found Hart. You're telling me he can't find Randall the same way? You listen to yourself?
Aaron Nesmith went 8 for 8 in Game 7 in our home court, right? What iHeart gonna do with the Celtics? What passing I need versus? I need wing and guard play versus them. I don't need iHeart passing to beat the Celtics.
So you only know rebounds then?
I got it with Mitch, or I got it with my rookies. I trust. You
trust Mitch?
Yes. You're damn right. Yes.
Oh,
they trust
Porzingis next time and tell them the same exact thing because they haven't been healthy each and every year. And as a center in this league, if your legs aren't healthy and you're getting older and you're dealing with injuries each and every year, is that a recipe for success? You want that player on your team?
Why the Knicks? Why the Knicks is the only team that pay players off failure? This is the logic. Let me get this straight. You paid Randall on civil rights numbers a couple years ago. Now you're gonna tell me you're gonna give iHeart $17 million after you watch this man allow 62 points in the paint, the most in Pacers history, and a playoff loss. And we got smoked by Nesmith? Man.
So some other players didn't show up during that game. So I should take away their contracts too, huh? I just blame everybody else who didn't show up, right? I only gotta blame iHeart.
Who else didn't show up? Who else didn't show up?
Did Dante show up during that game? Did Dante show up during that game?
Big Paz too, right? What Big Paz supposed to do with Miles Turner?
What is Isaiah Hartenstein supposed to do by himself when he got to guard somebody who shoots threes and the paint is all open? What are you talking about? What do you want him to do? Explain it to me. Explain what happens when Miles Turner's in the corner shooting threes and iHeart's guarding him. What do you want him to do in the paint? How do you want him to succeed? Go ahead.
Go in the lane every play. Why was this? What defender he's supposed? And listen,
was OG playing that game? Was OG playing that game? I'm sorry, was OG playing that game?
Now you go.
Well, so he can play. So he plays defense everywhere. So you want to you want to defend 1 through 5? Then that's what you want him to do. That's what you want him to do. I got you. Cool. Tell me the center that defends 1 through 5. I'll wait. Go ahead. I'll wait. Let me smoke while you do that. I'll wait.
Mitch
don't play 1 through 5.
Yes.
Damn mind.
Yo, he's doing y'all gotta stop that.
I want to see Mitch. I want to see Mitch guard Kyrie. Let me see that. We'd be lovely.
I want to see
Mitch guard Kyle Lowry. I would love to see that. Kyle Lowry took this man. I've seen it happen already. Get your ass out of here with that bullshit, bro. Wow. Look at the tape. Get out of here with that, man. Mitch is expendable right now. iHeart already showed you why. Mitch is expendable right now. Expendable.
Mitch, we don't beat Philly.
Oh my Lord. I thought you said we can get a rookie. I thought you said we can get a rookie do the same thing.
We can. They do the same thing they won't do.
So we good then.
I think we good.
So we good then. You want iHeart to not get paid that much? I'm telling you, this man's gonna get paid that much because he showed you why. And it's all about value you getting now. If somebody gonna give him that money, that's what his value's worth. You gotta match it. That's easy. And if they got the money to match it, they're gonna match it. If somebody gives him 20 and he signs with the Knicks to 17, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Easy. Why not? He was part of the reason that for our success. Broke out. You don't want to pay that man? That's cool with me. But I'm going to pay what I saw. One of the key players. Same thing with OG. I'm going to pay what I saw. One of the key players. You try not to pay people that helped you get there. You want to experiment with people. You have no idea if they're going to help or not. without looking at the people that
I
got you
keep
there.
one of them. I keep one of
You
them.
keep one of them, yeah, one of them, the broken one, the broken child. That's what you
baby.
want.
That's my
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, broken ass baby
My draft pick.
in a wheelchair.
Yo, listen, man. iHeart, Oklahoma City. There's no taxes. Whatever they offer him, they try to offer him a 2-year, $50 million, some crazy nonsense. By all means, if I'm iHeart, I'm going to the number one team in the West. But at the end of the day, if the culture is strong, right, and we just got to talk about it from both sides of the coin. iHeart passing is valuable, right? You're seeing plays where you'll see Randall diving to the rim. iHeart to find him. iHeart was finding OG. iHeart adds another dimension. My only issue with iHeart, and I don't think it's iHeart, I think it's Thibs. And Thibs, he's a funny guy. I'm not gonna lie. He's a funny guy. That interview.
Best episode, by the way. That was the best episode.
Best episode, by the way, by Roommates Podcast. Easily by far, like best episode. It kind of made me respect Thibs more a little bit because I don't get a chance to really like see this man talk a lot. You know what I'm saying?
It felt like it was an exit interview. We never get those.
Yeah, and yeah, that's exactly what it felt like, and it was great to listen to. Thibs talked about the minutes police. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was the most logical answer I've ever heard. And I'm listening to him and I'm like, y'all can't even be mad at this dude, bro. So damn. Let me try to lie and make up some shit to make myself feel better. But it was logical. He's like, yo, my dude's just not even top 5 in minutes. He's like, if they're hot, I'm gonna play them. I tell everybody, get ready. Like, as long as you're ready. Tim's the type of dude, if he's seeing you in the gym all the time, he's gonna play you. Like, he's that type of coach. I wrote on the timeline today, if I was an NBA head coach, I would be Thibs. Like, I'm gonna play my guys mad minutes, bro. I'm gonna scream at the refs all day. I'm cursing at people. I'm telling people why you're fouling them. But how did you feel about that interview with Thibs? And before you get into that real quick, let me shout out some of these guys in the chat. I think OG and Anobi will opt in. Guys, that's my guest. Shouts to you. Name on, man. I appreciate you. The star was supposed to be JB. This front office not trading Randall. He's the guy they need to remove. Not necessarily. I kind of disagree with that. I wanna ride this out. Pause. I think Randall should be here when it comes to certain things. Mikal at the 3, OG at the 4. Nah, too soft. Mikal, OG, and Randall. That sounds like a championship to me personally. End results again in another second round exit. Yo, we trying to avoid that. That's why we're talking about the Knicks 11-20 at the night. God damn it! I would go get Mikal Bridges. I want Mikal Bridges so bad. Shout out to Coach. Salute.
Shout out, Coach.
iHeart is not worth $72 million for 8 points, 8 rebounds. See, the math ain't mathing. If you being a stat whore, stat whores and stat merchants, they'll look at 8 and 8 and be like, "What the hell are you paying for?" Man. I'd rather pay Plumlee. I'm not. Come on, lay off the coat. Lay off the goddamn coat. Tibbs don't like stretch fives. Tibbs don't like stretch fives.
Stop. That's kind of true, actually. That's kind of true. He liked his class. He liked his classic center.
Let's stop right there real quick. Tibbs don't like stretch fives. I'm about to tell you a song lineup. Let me see how you feel about it. My fault, people. We gonna get into the draft. We gonna talk about the young fellas. We gotta talk about certain things real quick. I'm mad scientist, Dexter's laboratory type shit. Karl Anthony Towns, Julius Randle, OG Anunoby, Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson. How you feel about it?
Oh God, I don't like Cat. I'm sorry. I'm not a Cat fan. First of all, I don't even think that could work. I think the only way you get Cat from Minnesota is if you can trade Randall for him. Let's say you did have that lineup and magically you could get it. I don't know how that works. I think that people think it might work because he's the stretch 5 that you might need. One of the best big men shooters ever. So you get that on, as well too. The defense is suspect. He is soft. He's a kitty cat. Really does not perform as well as you need him to when the lights are brightest. We saw that in the playoffs. I'm not saying he's the worst playoff performer because I know he has his moments where he does show up, but it took him a while to show up before he actually got there. I remember a time where it was the Timberwolves trying to build around Cat, and they were doing it year after year after year. It didn't really lead to anything. They had to draft more players. They got Anthony Edwards. Things changed. Edwards took another step, and then everybody else followed suit. And I think that's what happened this year. They're going to get better, but I think that team's success is dependent on Anthony Edwards. It's not dependent on Karl Anthony Towns. And because it's not dependent on Towns, Towns just has a role now. And does he play that role very well? Sure. Will he play that role just as good on the Knicks? I have reason to doubt that because I don't like the fit. And you just told me Randall in the same front court with Cat. And I'm supposed to look at that and think that looks good, especially on defense. And they both kind of like to operate in the same space, only that Cat doesn't like to take contact that much. He likes to operate on the three-point line a lot and to take shots over there. Now, he can drive into the lane, sometimes try to take contact. He doesn't initiate contact like that. Doesn't honestly look for it. And honestly, he rides somebody else as they drive to the basket to try to get their momentum so that way he doesn't have to take the contact to get to the rim. Tell me I'm wrong, by the way. I'm just saying, Cat's a name that people like. They're attracted to it because it sounds nice. But just because something sounds nice doesn't mean it fits well. I'm not attracted to that. I don't think Cat moves the needle for anybody, honestly. Cat's not the star you want. He gets paid like a superstar. $54 million, I think his contract starts next season.
Ooh.
And he doesn't play like a superstar. That's what you want? That's the guy that you want to, trade all these people for? And I'm not saying Randall's perfect. Randall has his issues. He obviously has issues in the playoffs, whatever the case may be. But I would trust Randall and his fit, given the amount of years he's been here and the chemistry he developed with this team, way more than I trust Cat, given everything that I've seen. And he's not. What have you seen from Cat that makes you want to trade for him? I just don't understand what the allure is. Because of the shooting? Is that the only thing? That's what's going to win you a championship? A big man who shoots well? Didn't work for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So why would it work for the Knicks?
I ain't gonna lie. I think that front court could work. That's just me. Well, I don't want Cat.
You think a front court? Wait, let's go back then. Oh, you think it could work? Explain to me how Randall in the front court with Cat works.
They don't operate in the same space.
Well, we just said that Cat goes inside at times when he rides momentum to take contact and also get to the line. What does Randall do?
Randall could stand at the 3-point line. I trust him.
So you want Randall to be at the 3-point line with Cat going inside? That's what you want me to believe right now?
They can switch off. You can run 4 or 5 pick and roll. Pick your poison. You can run a pick and roll with Cat with Jalen Brunson. When Cat on those same pick and rolls with iHeart, now you have Cat. Those same plays where iHeart is standing at the 3-point line and he's wide open. Now Cat is standing at the 3-point line and he's wide open. So I think it's a different dynamic it brings to the offense. And how the fuck you gonna guard that? I mean,
first of all, wide open is a very he's not wide open.
No, he's wide open.
But because he's wide open is because he can't shoot threes. If Cat was there, somebody would be on him. That means the paint would be open.
Hold on.
You just made my point. No. I made that point for a reason. I'm gonna give you a reason to not go into my point. Yes, the paint's going to be open, but there's a reason for that, State. When the paint is open, there's going to be defenders all over. It's not going to just be, oh yeah, the paint's open. There's going to be free lanes. There's only going to be one person on Cat. Cat's not somebody you double. Who's double teamed Cat on the corner? Who's double teamed him? You don't double team Cat. That's the thing, State. Why do we want these people?
You can't, because now you got OG. You shoot 40% from 3. You got Brunson. He's a great catcher. 3. I'm just being objective here. I don't want Cat. I'm just the lineup.
What's objective? You're not giving me any reasons to why.
Basketball fit. It works.
Just because of shooting? So just because you're a good shooter, is he a good defender? Is he a good defender?
He was on the #1 defense this year.
Good. Is he a good defender?
He's on the #1 defense this year.
Is he a good defender?
I plead the fifth.
Cool. So I'm glad you can answer that. But that answers all my questions for me. Thank you. We can move on. Cat on this damn team. The hell's wrong with people, man? I don't want no damn kitty cat, soft ass cat. Talk about paper. You talk about paper, man, and you want to bring cat over here.
No, I don't. I don't. Listen, I'm so desperate for a championship right now, bro. Like,
you're looking in the wrong direction. If you're looking at cat,
I'll do anything for a championship, bro.
Don't look at cat then. Cat's the way you go the opposite way.
Leon
That's
Rose,
not a championship.
Leon Rose can't come back to me in September without a star, or he failed.
What's the star level? Is DeMar DeRozan a star?
Bro.
I'm asking you what the star level is.
DeMar, they'll still get smoked by the Celtics, bro. I need DeMar and like two other people. I'm talking if you get I'm desperate, bro. I take Zach LaVine, I take Cat, I take Paul George, I take anybody, bro. I need a championship, bro. I'm tired of fucking waiting.
Paul George's not getting you a championship. Cat's not getting you a championship. LaVine's not getting you a championship.
Paul George, Randall. Wait, what you mean?
You not getting those guys together. Stop with the smoking that you're doing right now because it's clearly clouding your judgment.
Why you can't get them together?
Because that's what they want in return. How you getting Paul George?
So why would you trade all your young assets for four guys that didn't help you in the playoffs?
Well, first of all, the Bojan is the only reason they got him is to do the same thing they did with Evan Fournier. They used that contract in a trade. That's the only reason it was there.
He booty.
Bogey?
Bogey booty. Burks is booty. OG Anunoby paper and Precious about to walk.
OG Anunoby. Well, first of all, Brunson's about to what? What did you say?
I said not Brunson. I said Precious.
Okay. Yeah, Precious. I don't really mind about Precious. We can find other Precious. But with regards to the roster itself, I think we have people on this team that are going to stay. I think this roster is going to stay more or less intact. The star player is only going to come based off of availability. We have to understand that it has to be somebody that's going to move the needle. Leon Rose is not going to trade everything for somebody that's not going to help this team move forward. I think that's why we look at LaVine because of cost. His cost is low. That's why it makes sense for Leon Rose to go get him. If his cost was normal, he wouldn't go after him. And LaVine's still not enough to, I think, get you over the hump. But it is enough to maybe get you in line to compete with the Celtics, if you get all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think that's what we're talking about here, to get better, take another step. And if you're able to flip LaVine's value in the process, he makes 50-something million. That's the trade asset that you need to get the other star that you want. So this is all pieces, the building blocks. You got to do it piece by piece. They already did the first piece this season. They made the Knicks attractive again. People want to come to play for the New York. So now it's all about taking that momentum and maximizing it. We didn't do that last time you made the postseason. Remember that? We traded. Yeah. We had Evan and Kemba that summer. We didn't do anything with it. But now I think this summer we're going to use the momentum because we have it now. And we actually have a superstar to sell everybody. We got Jalen Brunson on this team. You want to play with him? JB, who could potentially lead this squad to a championship? You definitely want to come here. You don't even got to try that hard anymore. Before that, they sell them to City. You don't got to do that no more. The City is a number 2 now because Brunson's the person you want to play with. We never had that before. We should be very excited right now for the offseason because there are a lot of people who probably want to come here.
We got a good culture, too. Shout out to the chat. You got
because of who? Who created the culture? Who created the culture?
The players and the coach and Leon Rose. Because I don't feel lying to you right now, and I can't troll you on live.
What's good, Jay? How you feeling?
Jay from the East, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Where we definitely gonna get into the draft a little bit, bro. iHeart is a dud. Yo, this chat.
Oh my God, bro. What are we talking about? iHeart's a dud?
Yo,
I'm trying to say what's
oh my goodness. Look, Nick's got to make a decision between Mitch and obviously. Yeah. Mitch can't guard Kyrie, obviously. Thinking about replacing Dante is a waste of time. 11 threes in a game. Nick's record proves we're set at shooting guard. And no, it does not, because I'm not putting Dante DiVincenzo on Jalen Brunson in the backcourt trying to go 94 feet with Derek White and Drew Holiday. Let's talk basketball. You're not beating this up.
Sorry. I agree with that.
And let's see if What
Like a
you
small
saw?
guard for 3.
Yo, the chat booming right now. Jesus Christ, iHeart overrated. Yo, y'all gotta
Oh my lord, yo, what's going on, man?
iHeart.
iHeart was one of the saviors for the season. Impact is more than points and rebounds, ain't it?
Man, with that said, Thibs, I think the Knicks are doing a press tour for Thibs right now, and I think what they did on Roommates today was an interview for a star. Why would Thibs go on Roommates podcast today and talk the way he did? Why would he talk like so candid? Oh, the minutes thing, even his minutes debate, I agree with it. Like, why? Like, for me, I think that's a media play. I think that Brunson was smart for having Thibs on his podcast. I think that was a sign to show other all stars, hey, yo, you want to come here? It's comfortable. Like, we don't practice a lot. It's not hard. It's different. The one thing I learned about Thibs today, his practices is kind of different. Like, he got mental practices. He got practices with people who's practicing full court contests and all that. So, oh, okay. I didn't know that. And then we get the news about Mo Cheeks today. I'm like, oh, Nick's cooking here. So how did you feel about the whole Roommates podcast interview with Thibs again, and just speaking upon what I just said? Like, this is Thibs' audition. He's in the last year of his deal. I think the Knicks is going to re-up on him. But obviously they're probably talking to people right now behind the scenes. What you think about Thibs overall? Can he win us a championship? And how do you feel about him after this Roommates podcast today? Because I, I gravitated towards him today. I'm like, oh, this guy's really, yeah, I would play for him. I'm not gonna lie, I would play for Thibs. I would coach like him too. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Shout out to Ray, y'all. Shout out to y'all. Ain't no way I'm maxing out OG. Lucky, we definitely got into that, but definitely talk to the people about Thibs, the interview today, and how you feel about him moving forward, and any key points in the interview that I missed that you wanted to bring up.
First of all, Tom Thibodeau interview with Roommates were just that's an amazing show. They had bangers after bangers, by the way. I thought my favorite episode was Patrick Ewing. That was the last one was my favorite one. And then they came out with Thibs right now. I think they got Jay Wright coming out next. I mean, they are just hitting banger after banger. I'm so happy about it. Tom Thibodeau's interview was the realest I've seen Thib be. Never seen him smile so much in my life. He mentioned a lot of key points, but he was talking about some of the defensive things that he does and how he runs things, what he does in the offseason as well. The one thing that I was waiting for of them to answering, like, what does he do in the offseason? How does Thibs, what is his hobby? What does he do? He goes to a beach house and spends time with his family. That's what he does in the offseason. And they were asking him more things about it, right? But he didn't really have much else to say, which kind of told me everything I needed to know. He's close to his family. In the offseason, he'll spend as much time as possible with them. But he eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. That's all it is for him. And he can talk X's and O's. He can talk, plays, who he likes to coach, these things and that. He could talk those things forever. I also like the fact that he said that Ryan Arcidiacono was one of the players that he coached that he liked to break. I thought that was pretty funny. And even though he traded him away twice, he's probably gonna make a comeback. By the way, Villanova squad is probably coming back. But I thought Thibs was so relaxed in that interview. It showed a different side of him. And if it was a media, PR type of thing to kind of just reverse the image of Thibs, and he didn't mention, we were talking about the minutes that I know there's this perception that's followed me. He mentioned that. I thought that was a very key point that he mentioned, that it followed him, meaning that it's no longer something that he does. It's just something that people think that he does. And the fact that he said it and mentioned it that way, I thought it was important. But in the opposite way of that, I thought it was the way he selectively chose to include playoffs and say it was playoff minutes, because there's no fault with that, right? Everything's true. Now, if you say those same things about the regular season in the game in January against Detroit, maybe that's not the same thing, because there's a vision and a goal every season. And now the Knicks are a consistent playoff team. So you see the goal. So you need to be able to build toward that goal. Part of that is trust. Part of that is making sure that when you think you're not getting what you want, treat the bench or the people out there as you would the starters. You're not going to take the starters out. You're going to leave them in there for a little bit, try to let them correct their mistakes before you make the adjustment. I think Thibs needs to utilize that a little bit more, because I'm not saying minutes and load management is a huge thing. I think there's a lot of research on it, but I think it goes a long way in terms of just mentality, mental fatigue. All of those things come in handy. And I think if you're able to even just rest players when you can, it makes a big difference. It's a big deal. So I think that there's room for both sides of that conversation. Yes, Thibodeau did exactly what other coaches do in the playoffs, but how many coaches do what Thibodeau does during the regular season? That's the part that I think wasn't really covered too much, obviously, because if they did that, it'd be hard to say anybody does the same. But, that's just my 2 cents on that.
I think, and one of the most underrated things, what I heard about when I'm listening to Thibs, is just culture. Just talking about the culture, playing hard, defense. I think I heard the word defense come out of his mouth, I think about 30 times today. I'm not going to hold you up. He emphasized defense. So whoever we draft, they got to be a willing defender.
Yeah.
We definitely going to talk about some of these guys, but they got to be a willing defender. Another thing, he seems so happy, so calm.
Yeah.
Refreshed. So
you know why, right?
Yeah.
You know why, right?
Yeah, he about to get some.
About to get that money. Josh Harvey said he saw him in the shop trying to buy a car. He was trying to buy a car in the shop. He mad happy right now. Thibs in a car shop. What? In a car shop. He mad hype right now. That's nuts.
Yo, shout outs to Thibs, man. And it was a great interview for me. I'm not gonna lie. And we just reached lucky 400. Appreciate all 400 of you people. That's
damn 11:40 at night. Y'all some maniacs.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, definitely appreciate y'all. Listening to your interview with Marc Berman, listening to Thibs today, we get the Mo Cheeks, talk, right? And now the draft is coming up, right? And we spoke about, the very first meaningful day, that was OG, June 24th. The first round of the draft, June 26th, a very, very, very important day, I believe, for the New York Knicks. I believe that's a day where they could target multiple players, multiple first round picks, and people who could actually help this team and help this team progress. The first thing I would like to say to Knicks fans, that when it comes to the draft, the 2 picks right now that we have, it equals up to $5 million. So in any trade that we do, are you sure that we could trade both first round picks? So let's say we trade both first round picks, right? We won't be able to trade the 2025 first round pick at all because of the Stephen rule, correct? Okay.
So that's right. Correct.
Okay, so I'm willing to do that. I got a lot of guys on my list, but what do you think the Knicks do on draft night? Or you want me to go through some of my guys and then you want to talk about what you think the Knicks is going to do draft night? Because I got about 5 names. I think.
Throw out some of your names. You got some prospect that you like?
Yes, I actually do. So the first prospect that I like, and a lot of people is not really talking about him, I like Tyler Smith, man, from the G League Ignite. I really like his game. I'm doing a lot of research on him. Went back. I had one of my, because I got the little homies on the timeline, so I told the little homies, yo, send me one of them G League Ignite games, man. Send me the link to that. The little homies, they gonna send me that. So I watched about 5 G League Ignite games of this guy, about 4 YouTube joints. I'm looking at Twitter, I'm looking at everything. I even wrote about the guy. And Tyler Smith in 2023-2024, he averaged 13.7 points, 5.1 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and 1 point blocks per game, shooting 47% from the field, 36% from three, and 73% from the free throw line. Those are good numbers that you like to see. And he measured a surprisingly high vertical at the combine, a 38-inch max vert at the NBA combine. While 72% is not great, I think that's great for a player his size. He's 19 years old. He's a baby. He was a little baby. But I feel like he will be a great pickup for the New York Knicks. Obviously Ryan Dunn, but I wanted to just throw out a different name out there. Have you done any research on Tyler Smith, man? I looked at him, 6'9", 224 pounds. Looked like he could play small forward and power forward. It's just he's 19. But he played in G League Ignite, so he played with grown men already. So I don't,
I've seen some tape on the kid, but I don't look at players that need development because it doesn't make sense for the Knicks to draft them. And he needs a little, he needs a lot of work. A lot of these kids need a lot of work, but they need to specialize in something to come here and be able to fill a void. That's why when we talk about Dunn and players like that, or when we go, even further, it's because they have something special that they do, the defense that they give you, the fact that they can come in and contribute immediately. When they talk about, Zach Edey, it's not because of the fact that he's special. It's because of the fact that his skill set is special. It doesn't mean he's going to utilize it, which is why there's potential that he could slip all the way out of the draft. He might not even go first round. He might go second round. He could go first. There's a lot of, it depends. There's so many things that could happen. It all depends on the players that drop as well too, and also fit. So we could talk about a lot of different prospects, but for the Knicks, it's all about who fits today. Who's going to fit when I need them to come in for OG right away. It's not going to be somebody who's basically has barely any defense, or if they come in, they're still very green. You need to specialize in something and do it extremely well. If you do that, you're going to be somebody the Knicks target. And by the way, shout out to Chris Persiani. I know he's one of your favorites.
Chris, man. Nah, I don't hate nobody no more, man. I'm on my, I love everybody, man.
I'm glad you know. He said in one of his tweets, he said that the Knicks have the most intel on Ryan Dunn right now. So, if that goes anything in a long way, then it tells you at least what the Knicks are looking for. A wing with defensive instincts that can play right away. Yeah. If that's the case, there are not that many players that fit the bill there. And the ones that are, the Knicks would have to trade a lot to probably get them. Like the Ware kid, the last mock I saw on him, I think he's now in top 10 when before he could have been like 14, 15. So he's going closer and closer in 10. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Sometimes these mocks don't pan out the way they should. But right. It is interesting to see that, his name is moving a lot more than before.
That's very true. And let's stay on the kid Ryan Dunn real quick. Shout out to Substack. I wrote a nice Substack article on this kid, man. Kid from New York, man. I think he's from Freeport, New York. Ryan Dunn, just looking at some of the things he's done, and usually a high school career probably tells a lot about a player. You know what I'm saying? Give you a prime example. For the 411 people in here, can you tell everybody Jalen Brunson's accolades since high school, please?
Can I tell you that?
Yes.
It's so many. What do you want me to? National championship titles,
high school titles, player of the year award.
Yeah, I mean, he's done. It's great. JB won on every single level, and in terms of accolades, he has way more than he gets credit for. He just doesn't. He hasn't done it in those premier schools, and his name hasn't been passed around like that. But he's done it all in terms of winning on every level, in terms of accolades as well too.
So shout outs to Ryan Dunn. During his time at Long Island Lutheran, he shot an impressive 44% from three-point range in 2019, 2020, and 2021 seasons. So it showed in high school. It showed a shot a little bit. He received the Consensus Outstanding Player Award at the Isaiah Whitehead Skills Academy in 2021, and was named the standout player in 2021 New York Jayhawks Combine, ESPN Mid-Atlantic Independent School Shootout, ESPN Adidas. Also, he was honored the 2021 Summer Classic Regional Team member and was a part of the Scholastic Honor Roll at Long Island Lutheran and Oak Hill Academy. Standing at 6'8", 216 pounds. I like what I see. 2022, 2023, played 31 games. He averaged 2.6 points, 2.9 rebounds, 1.1 blocks per game. Shot 53% from the field, 31% from three, 50% from the free throw line, right? Oh, but the blocks, when you rank 11th in the ACC in blocks, it's kind of, it shows. But then he transferred, right? And when he transferred, this man comes out in the 2023-2024 season. He earned a spot on ACC All-Defensive Team, being listed on the Naismith Men's Defensive Player of the Year watch list. He started 34 games. He averaged 8.1 points, 6.9 rebounds, 2.3 blocks, and 1.3 steals. Shot 54%, 55% from the field, 20% from three, 53% from the free throw line. And he ranked first in the ACC in blocks per game, 12th in the rebounds, and 13th in offensive rebounds per game. Nationally, he ranked 16th in blocks per game. That is I don't give a shit about his offense.
No, you gotta give a shit about his offense. His offense is terrible, bro. It's trash. It's trash. It's so bad. And the fact that you got to develop it to the point where it's even decent is scary. You telling me you want to get a kid in the NBA who can't barely do anything on offense? I get the defensive instincts. I understand it, but this kid is not a Mitch. This kid is smaller than Mitch, and we're talking about drafting him and trying to develop defensive instincts not develop defensive instincts, but offensive instincts he may not have. I'm very worried about doing that for a kid like that, but I understand why anybody would want to pick him up, because I mentioned a video about this. He's a Thibodeau player, and he would come in and play right away. I feel like he would get minutes right away because we need him, and he could guard also, well past his position. He can guard 2, 3, 4. So the fact that he can do that as well and allow you that without having to take away from Jalen and Julius when they're on the floor, it does help the Knicks that we have players that allow him to do what he does without having to make him do other things that he really can't do well. The problem is the things he can't do well are needed for the NBA player, an average modern NBA player, and he doesn't have it. And to develop that at this stage, look how many rookies actually do that and how successful they are at even doing it. They're taking a big risk.
It depends, man. I'm gonna trust the infrastructure and the coaching staff to get that young man right. I think I'm banking on the defense, bro. I'm sorry, bro. When you could defend like that at a high clip, like his field goal percentage is still great. So
don't say great. It's not great. You just said 31% from three. That's great. Repeat it again.
No. Field goal percentage. 53%? Not 3-point percentage. His 3-point. No, he shot 20% from three. The man was building a brick house out there.
What's his true shooting?
Oh, I don't.
Cause you can't, because we're talking about all this, regular shooting stuff. I don't care about that stuff. Give me true shooting. True shooting is going to tell us everything we need to know. I'm pretty sure that's around 40%. If I'm not mistaken.
I believe.
So if true shooting is around 40% state, I'm sorry, bro.
It's around like 51% is true shooting percentage.
I mean, that's that.
But I mean, the measurables are there,
What is the point of having them if you're not using them for offense? That means what, you're going to use them for defense only?
But
no offense with them?
I feel like he has the potential to be a shooter. I feel like, sometimes you have a down year in shooting. Julius Randle was awarded a down year in shooting threes.
I don't want Julius Randle shooting any threes ever again because bully ball Randle's the best.
He has to space the floor, though. In his shoulder. You got to make sure his shoulder.
I understand. Right. I get all of that. And sure, if he wants to become a better three-point shooter, great. But we saw the best Randle that we saw all his entire career this year. And that Randle was not shooting threes a lot. That Randle was going in the paint and doing what he did best, being a bully. And that's what I want to see. Same thing with other kids. I don't want to change people's games when they come here. That's why you need to have a game to be able to develop. He doesn't have a an offensive game. So what do you got to give him one, and you have to make sure he's comfortable with it as well too. There's so many factors that go into that. The only thing that's good about Dunn right now is that he can fit a purpose right away. He can contribute right away, and he can help right away. Everything else is a question mark. That's the only concern with him. And the fact that you read me some, couple of seasons of threes that he did okay, when pressure's on and he does worse from three, that tells me all I need to know. That means you're not clutch. You're not even clutch in the moment, and you're already bad on offense. How many things you got to teach this kid? The same, bro. It's going to be a limit.
So another guy, and this was intriguing for me. I don't know if it was the weed. I don't know if I was just in my mind. I don't know if it was just the water, the Hudson River, just staring at it. It was just beautiful. Nikola Topic.
He's not dropping, bro. Stop it. Please stop it.
So
please stop. Please, I don't want to even do it. No, stop it, bro. Stop it. Don't do this shit. I thought you were gonna say the other kid, the Drewster kid, the one who thinks he's Anthony Edwards. That kid. Like, that's why I waited for the last name. Like I was like, you gonna talk about that kid, right? You're not gonna talk about that. Nah, you think I don't even care. I don't care that he's injured, bro. There's no way he's slipping. You think that man's gonna slip to 24? You out your damn mind.
Listen, I'm just saying. In 13, oh man, y'all, I'm sorry if I butcher this. Adaratic.
Wait. What do you say? You saying the spider name? What you saying? You say the spider?
Adriatic? League games? Yo, oh my God.
My man said Andrea Tit. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? My man said Andrea Tit to call his name.
Woo. He averaged 18.6 points per game, 6.9 assists per game, shooting 53% from the field, also 28% from three. He also recorded 0.9 steals, 3.1 turnovers per game. Great size, man. 6'7". Effective scorer in the arc, 52% accuracy. Could play on or off ball. Excellent as a shot creator. If he was the 4, because we see players fall all the time. I'm just saying, if he was the 4, I would take him. And I that's a home run pick right there. I'm just saying, if he was the 4, because why wouldn't you?
Well, he's not going to fall.
Oh, you don't think he's going to fall? I think
no.
He's coming off a partially torn ACL.
Don't matter. It don't matter, bro. The talent's all over there, bro. That's why you would take him. That's why anybody else would take him. What the hell are we talking about here, bro? Why would you take him? Answer that question for yourself, and then every other team give you the same exact answer. The talent's all over there, bro.
Craziness. All ball. And I think he great another playmaker too. I think he would make guys better around him. And also, I think when you bring a guy like that into a Thibs type system, Thibs system is like a semi-triangle. So you gotta have players who's willing passers or overpasser, like OG overpasses. It's infectious because now other people want to share the ball. So a guy like Nikola Topic, if he was the 4, I'm just saying, if other GMs was just sniffing that day, we never know, right? We don't know.
They can sniff the whole world. It won't matter. Then nobody let that man fall. It don't matter, bro. There ain't enough in the world that they can smoke, drink, and snort that's gonna make him pass on that man. That guy is too good, way too good. But the other kid, that Drewster kid, the Anthony Edwards kid, that kid might be available. So if you want to go after one kid that has a similar name, might as well.
How is he? How is his game? I think I went past him.
He's a smaller, less athletic Anthony Edwards. So, I mean, whatever you think a less smaller Anthony Edwards-like kid would look like, that's what this kid is. I don't know what his upside would be, but, I mean, if he has similar skill sets to Ant-Man, that's not bad. It's not something that jumps off the page, though. Oh, look at this kid. He's a less athletic version of Ant-Man. What does that mean? It doesn't really sound great.
Yeah, so. I don't know what that really do for me. I mean, I take him. I mean, I take
It's all
him.
about where you at though. Like again, the moves the Knicks are gonna make, it's all dependent on who's left on that draft or when they're choosing. We don't know who's gonna really drop at this point. A lot of people are saying that Edie might drop. A lot of people are saying that he could fall out. There are a lot of people telling me that Dunn potentially, if it's available and there, that even though the Knicks have that 38th pick in the second round, then he could potentially drop to the second round. Maybe they do take him with number 24 if he's there, and then he take one of those picks and they do the classic trade it for future assets and move back and then focus on day 2, get another rookie, probably send that rookie to the G League like I did with Miles McBride, and then try to see if they find magic again. It kind of sounds like what Leon Rose and the Knicks are going to do because they can't get what they want, which is a star player. That's the first thing they're looking for. If they can't get that, then the next best thing is getting a player that you can actually use.
That's a fact. That's why Nicola topic. I hope you other GMs are sniffing. I'm just hoping y'all sniffing. I'm hoping y'all sniffing when I talk about this next guy in the NBA draft as well. Khalil Ware. This guy, he's not gonna fall, bro. Like when you look at the tape, when you look at where he's coming from, Indiana, them boys play defense and all of that. No way in hell he falls, bro. It's no way, bro. Stu, I'll just throw some stats at you. Stu measured 6'11" without shoes, bro.
Jeez, man. That guy's perfect. He's perfect in like almost every way for Tom Thibodeau. Perfect.
9 foot.
Get him, though.
Guy got a 9 foot, 4.5 standing reach. Oh my goodness. Third among all prospects. Where particularly excelled in the strength and agility tests at the combine. His 32.5 inch standing vertical leap tied for the third best among centers. His 10.97 second lane agility time ranked second, and his 2.91 second shuttle run also ranked second. Oh my fucking
jeez, man.
Yo, and this guy
is ridiculous.
And what's really impressive, Ware led the Hoosiers with 15.9 points per, 9.9 rebounds, 1.9 blocks per game, 42.5 from three.
Damn.
Like, I don't know teams that stupid. Yeah,
That's why this kid keeps moving up, bro. This kid keeps moving up into that top 10. He's not moving out anymore. He used to be like 12, 13, 14. Every mock now has him at 10. And I don't know where he's going to – I honestly don't know where he's going to go. I would be very shocked if he fell past 14.
I think he might go top 5, bro.
I don't know about top 5, man.
This is shaping up to be some – our Keegan Murray. This is shaping up.
I don't know. I wouldn't say the same. I wouldn't say the same at all. He has an appeal. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this is the same appeal. I don't know if he goes top 5. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes top 8. If we're talking about within that range, I can see him going 8, 9, or 10. Those are easy spots to see. It'd be shocking if he got to 14. It'd be really shocking if he got. I think the Knicks could trade to 14. Yes. If they wanted to. But they would have to include Mitchell Robinson in the deal with those picks.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I know.
I would think that has to be the case because there's nobody else that I think the Knicks would want to trade besides maybe Bogdanovich. That's another player they can probably include in there as well too. And I believe Portland holds the 14th pick, so they could use the assets of having a contract that they could use in a trade because they definitely want to make a trade anyways with Malcolm Brogdon. So anything else that can help that, I mean, that makes a lot of sense as well too. So. Listen, I think there's a lot of options here for the Knicks, but that 14 spot, I think it's open. And if Ware falls there, I think I can see the Knicks moving all the way there to make a move happen. Because he can, like I said, he's perfect. For the Knicks right now, he'd be perfect. In terms of players you could find in the draft and like players they're targeting right now, there's nobody better than Kelly Ware because I think that right now he's the kid that fits what every team could kind of have somebody like. But Tom Thibodeau would make that kid shine so much more because he has it kind of offensively already. Defensively, he has it too. But imagine a more polished version of that kid after a year or 2 years, my God, it'd be ridiculous. That's your future right there.
So, you know, another guy that we talking about, right? Keyshawn George, 6'8", 205-pound guard from the Miami Hurricanes, appeared in 30 games as a freshman, started 16. He earned his first career start against Stonehill and scored double figures in 12 contests this season. George became the first Miami freshman to score 20 plus since Isaiah Wong scored 27 against Virginia Tech on February 19, 2020. He's the only ACC freshman to average 7 points and 3 rebounds per contest while playing less than 25 minutes per game. He ranked first among Miami freshmen in scoring and rebounding. Another guy, very wiry, rangy wing, new age prototype. Another guy that if he falls, I think the Knicks should take a chance on this kid. One of Jay from Florida, shout outs to Jay. One of his favorites that he kept mentioning. So I said, let me do my homework on this kid. I like what I seen. Another young guy, extremely young. I think the Knicks could benefit. This is just me personally. I think the Knicks could benefit from drafting a freshman as opposed to a senior. I think in this type of system, I think a player can flourish, especially a freshman. A 19-year-old who could play out the gate right now on the Thibs. Oh, that's a keeper. That's a keeper. Because I know Tim's gonna play his draft picks. It's not RJ. He didn't draft RJ. He didn't draft Mitchell Robinson. He drafted Grimes, but I don't know who was behind drafting Grimes, but he drafted Grimes and
he definitely had a hand in that.
You know what I'm saying? So I know Thibs will play his rookies. So I know he'll play a guy like Keyshawn George, but Keyshawn George is up to him if he's gonna make the roster. But how do you feel about this kid? Because I got another guy too. But how do you feel about the Keyshawn George kid in the situation with the Knicks? And do you see him actually making a Thibs rotation, being at his young age?
I got to be honest, I haven't watched too much of the kid, but like I said before, young prospects are going to have a hard time, in my opinion, finding time with Tom Thibodeau. You need to specialize in something and do it extremely well. If you can do that, then you'll find time. But that's what the case needs to be for the Knicks. They can't go out there and get somebody that they need to develop because the Knicks are not there anymore. We're past that. We're in win now mode. The moves we made this season already set us up for that. All our first round picks, OG Anunoby, that set off everything to make the moves happen this offseason. So the draft night moves are going to basically tell us what everything else is going to happen. They draft a center or, a good defensive wing, things like that, then you know what their future is likely going to be. They're obviously going to re-sign OG Anunoby, re-sign iHeart, and then they're going to look out for a trade to get the other missing piece, depending on what they didn't draft. In my opinion, the center position, they clearly know they need to make an upgrade in a lot of different ways because iHeart, to your point, is going to get paid a lot of money. That's a decision you have to make. And then Mitchell Robinson cannot be your backup. I'm sorry. He needs to go. He cannot be the guy you keep. I can't hear you, by the way. I can't hear you say. But
that's how I know you get under my skin with this Mitch hate.
What do you mean Mitch? It's not Mitch hate. I like Mitch. I love Mitch. I'm keeping it real. Mitch can't be a backup when he misses game after game after game. He's injured every year. How you want a backup that's injured every year? How can you be a backup? You can't be a backup if you're injured every year. It don't make sense. And he's only getting older. What are you going to tell me? He's going to get older and better with his injuries to his legs as a big man? Come on now, man. What are we talking about? There's logic here.
Oh.
I like Mitch. It just I don't want a broken down version of Mitch. Are you talking about keeping him while his value continues to sink? Right now, he's one of the best offensive rebounders. He keeps breaking down. I don't know how long he's going to hold that title for. Might as well trade him if his value is a little bit higher right now. See what you can get. And if it's something that's better than what you have right now, you do it. I agree that with iHeart, you lose the same defensive intensity that Mitchell Robinson gives you, but he's not that bad of a defender. If anything, he's like maybe a small notch below Robinson in terms of a defender. And I said it before. He passes better. His offensive game is better. and his chemistry that he's developed and built with that entire team, definitely better. His moments, his pick and rolls with Jalen Brunson, they look clean. And I think that sets up, to your point, other people who can come in there that can play that with him. That's why you were trying to sell me Cat, even though I hate Cat, but you're trying to sell me that pick and pop for the entire time because he could potentially do that with him, like he tried to do with iHeart in the paint with those floaters. So I can understand that. But Julius Randle can do the same thing with him as well, too. He has a lot of options there. So I think the draft, like I said before, there's no need to go after these young rookies. They're not going to play. We know they're not going to play because we've seen this story time and time again. The only time those kids had opportunity is because opportunity existed because something happened. Injury, illness, whatever. We missed somebody and then we needed somebody else to show up. That's not what we're doing now. We're looking for somebody that can actually contribute, fill a void. That doesn't sound like taking somebody's spot. It sounds like adding to a rotation that we need.
Absolutely. And shout out to the chat because I like that point you just said, because this big man that I'm about to bring up, he spent 3 years in college. So with that said, coach, shout outs to you, man. He's CAA Mafia. Trade his next comment, trade up with OKC. You know I've been mentioning that. I've been dying for us to trade with OKC. You kidding me?
Trade what? Trade what to OKC? Trade picks? What are you trying to trade? To draft up? You trying to get OKC's pick?
One of those picks. I'm trying to get one of those. I'm trying to get either OKC, Chicago, or
Memphis. Coach just hate iHeart, bro.
Yeah. He ain't rocking with iHeart, man.
Oh no, bro. Oh my God. How soon we forget?
Yeah. Oh, Eddie, what's up? Yo, Eddie, bro. Eddie. He gotta. Eddie, we build it, bro. We build it right now. we trying to let Knick fans know from a different point of view, bro. They want to see my goddamn face. They want to see recap face, bro. That's all, bro. We want to talk some basketball too, bro. It's okay, bro. We do both at the same goddamn time. Everybody can eat. You gotta go watch Paid in Full. Mother. Shout out to D Bands. Appreciate you. Where might get drafted 17th to the Lakers. Isaiah Collier. That was one of the guys I was definitely going to talk about right after this next player. Mitch is staying. I'll let Drummond. Yo, I'm not. Man. Ribby, I don't snip, brother. Wait to invite me. Look, boom.
Tight.
Because we not doing this. Look, that's how we do that. Now, no excuse. I'm not even going. Don't talk to me no more. Now, with that said, shouts to everybody who's in here. It's 461 people in here. My Lord Jesus Christ. Bro brought up an interesting name, Collier, but let me get to this next big, right? Because Deron Holmes, the second, 6'9" big out of Dayton, spent 3 years at Dayton, polished. So he a baby, but we ain't gotta wait for him to like develop and all of this extra. We ain't gotta do all the extra. He spent 3 years at Dayton, demonstrating offensive versatility by scoring in the post and the lob threat. He also showed proficiency from beyond the arc, converting 38.7% of his three-point attempts. Holmes the second is a switchable defender with a long wingspan and a high motor defensively, excelling as a rebounder and shot blocker. He's shooting 64.9% from the field as a freshman. His scoring figures experienced a considerable uptick, averaging 18.4 points per game as a sophomore. He averaged 20 points, 8.5 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 2.1 blocks.
What's his draft range, State?
I think his draft range right now, matter of fact,
because I haven't heard of that kid, so I don't have no idea.
I had to do my homework. Like these
Because
kids,
I haven't heard about this kid, so so I'm trying to figure out where his draft range is.
I got you right now. NBA my draft. Yo, it's a lot of these like
I
gems,
look a lot of
bro.
the different. I look a lot of different mocks. I look at the Bleacher Report one, the Kevin O'Connor one. ESPN has one. I think NBA. Well, I don't know. I forget which other one has one. I think Basketball Reference or whichever the other one is. They had a lot of big boards and they changed a lot. So I try to look at the names. I look at the highlights, but you'll miss a few. I haven't. That's what I'm saying. I haven't heard the name you're talking about. But if he's a polished defender with size who can score as well, it sounds like is he a center? 6'9", you said, right?
Yes, power forward center.
I would take him, depending on skill set and obviously fit. But if his defense is good and he has some more offensive gain than what we've seen with iHeart and Mitch, then absolutely we need a backup.
So
iHeart's going to be the starting center, so you need a backup to him.
on one of these websites, my fault. One of these websites that has DeRon Holmes going 28th to the Denver Nuggets. So late first round.
Okay.
That's one of these websites. I'm gonna go to another website for you. Let's go to ESPN. You know what? I'll go to ESPN, right? Let's go straight down. Deron Williams, he's going. They got him going. Oh, early second.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I think because I look at some kids in the first. I try to go all the way to like certain rounds. I try not to go to the second yet. I think that's a different day breakdown. I don't know who's going to make it there yet. I try to avoid that as much as possible. If that kid's in the second, I must have missed it.
Let me USA Today. Let's go to USA Today. Come on, all these goddamn Jesus.
Mocks changed, bro. They changed a lot though. He might have been first before, but they update a lot, so he could have dropped a second.
So I don't want no goddamn Detroit. Goddamn Jesus Christ. Yo, they have so many mock drafts everywhere, and all of them got everybody in different spots. They got one where Atlanta trades back with the Spurs.
Yeah. That's the one that everybody thinks can happen on draft night. Actually, but that kid, what's his name? Colligan, whatever that kid's name is.
Zachary Rashier.
Well, no, that's a kid that's supposed to go number one. But I'm talking about the Hawks want to trade back to get that other kid. Forget what his name is. Zachary. Oh, I don't remember the guy's name. I forget what his name is. We got to look at the draft boards. I can say it right, whatever the case may be. But I think people know who I'm talking about. There's this one kid that I think they want to draft. They want to trade back for to trade for. So let's see if they get him. But I don't know if that's going to really happen because you don't know what the Hawks are really going to do. I mean, it sounds like everything's going to work that way. But when draft night comes, it all depends on how you feel. Number one is kind of hard because especially in a weak draft, you got to consider it that way. Because if you pick bad in a weak draft as number one, let's say the Knicks at number 24 get the best guy in the draft, you're gonna feel the type of way, So you don't want to be that team that gets a player that not one number one doesn't fit, but number two is one of the weaker players in the draft. That would be a failure.
Bleacher Report has DeRon Holmes going 30th to the Celtics. I'm not letting him fall to no fucking Boston Celtics. Knicks better.
That sounds like he might go second round, Steve. That means the Raptors might get him at 31.
True, but we could also pick him at 24 or 25. I mean, I'm not letting a guy like this fall.
If they get done, there's no reason. I don't think there's a reason to get this kid, honestly. I'm not saying you don't need the kid. I'm just saying they won't develop those two.
So you would, if they draft a power forward or small forward, you think the other pick would be what? A guard?
I think that if there's I think they would try to get a wing first. That's the first priority right now. They understand with OG Anunoby. They saw what happened last year. It's hard to not see that. You got to address that. That's more of a concern than anything else because OG Anunoby is the glue to this entire team. He's the one that helps because he's the identity. He changes everything. The Knicks look like a different team when he's on the floor. The record proves it as well, too. You got to protect that man. And if you can't have him, you got to have somebody to come in to be able to play like that. So they're going to go wing first. Yeah, I think power forward center is going to be the next thing because they obviously see the writing on the wall with Mitchell Robinson and maybe to an extent with Isaiah Hartenstein. So I think that that's going to be something that they look at, but not more than a wing. But I think everybody believes that iHeart and OG is going to come back.
And it's so crazy. This draft could go so many ways. Because if the Knicks can hoodwink somebody into a top 15 pick and have a chance at like a guy like Ron Holland or Stephen Castle or one of those guys, I think you got to do it.
Hold on. You say Castle?
Yes.
Why are you saying these guys? Do you really think these guys are dropping out of top 10? You out of your mind, bro. They're not dropping. There's some kids that are not gonna drop. Oh my Lord.
Okay.
Tell me which board you saw Castle on that's not in top 10.
Let's go. No, he's in top 10 every board. So my mindset is when we trade with the Memphis Grizzlies, the 9th overall pick is Stephen Castle.
Man, yo, I swear, Chris Herring, bro, I swear to God, he's created a whole monster with this entire thing with the trade to the Grizzlies for the 9th pick and all these freaking Cornette's part of that deal too, right?
No, it's just Luke Cornette. Luke Kennard.
Yeah, Luke Kennard. That Luke Kennard in the 9th pick for Mitchell Robinson, right?
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson.
Disgusting.
Second round pick.
Yeah, disgusting. No freaking way.
But you keep both your first round picks though. Who
cares?
What you mean? I'm getting 3 first round picks. I got more ammo. And I got so hypothetically speaking.
So they're gonna draft 3. They're gonna draft 3 rookies.
No, I'm gonna draft 9th overall pick, and those 2 extra picks, the new joints getting sent out for a guy like Zach LaVine.
Right, because they could clearly that's the offer on the table right now. Because they wouldn't give up those picks for Zach LaVine right now.
I mean,
come on, what are we talking about?
We both read articles here, okay? I think we're both intelligent people.
Sure. Yeah.
And we read what the Bulls guys are saying,
Yeah.
They want to pick Lamar and all of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
2nd April, though. That's the real reason why I said to myself, I would overhaul the center position and shout outs to CP. Shout outs to CP, man. That interview with Bobby Marks,
oh man, amazing.
So good. It was like a CBA class for dummies.
He broke a lot of shit down. That was crazy. Yeah.
To the point where all right, wait, hold on. Let me type this in my notes real quick. Let me rewind this. So now I got a clear mind. You know what I'm saying? So my talk to you is, if I could get that 9th pick and I could deal those 2 other picks, or you say run it back. I mean, if the team was healthy, and the argument is always, State, man, we was healthy, man, blah, 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 blah. Shouts to Jay from East New York, mid-late 20s, from what I've seen mostly. Appreciate you, Kaya, appreciate you. Oh, so much, appreciate you. Tony the Annihilator. Tony. Appreciate
Tony.
You. I put the StreamYard link. So anyone y'all could just pop up in here it's all love. But getting back to the roster construction, I think that swap, it opens up so many avenues. Because now I can say to you, Dante can hit 300 threes next season. And you can look at me and say, State, how? Oh, easy. We got way more talent on the roster now. Tim's not going to run these guys into the ground. Because the 3 guys they pick, I think they're going to play. And I think they're going to be good players. I think the Knicks have a chance to really reshape their team this offseason through the draft.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Maybe a question you even ask yourself.
Yeah.
Tell me the average minutes that rookie's going to play, even though he fits the Tom Thibodeau system.
What kind of rookie? Because I've seen the playoff rotation where
let's say done. Let's say they draft done.
18 minutes per game.
18 minutes per game.
Out the game. And I have a hot take for you. I think he'll shoot 35% from 3 his first season as a Knick. That's how much I trust the infrastructure. It's no way you can't trust the infrastructure.
I trust him. I'm not saying I don't. I just don't think that you can make a kid who's notoriously bad at shooting so good at shooting. I don't know if that happens. If he was already a decent shooter, for sure, but he's not even a decent shooter. He's at 20 something. You said 20. I think you said 31% from three. How the hell is he going to jump at 35 when somebody's guarding him that's bigger? All that pressure.
Jalen Brunson running your offense.
Jalen Brunson just takes off pressure. Doesn't make the rim bigger.
That's very true. And this is why I got this next guy right here, Isaiah Khalid. Right? And he attempted a ridiculous 49% of his field goals at the rim at USC. He converted 61% of his 154 attempts. That is fucking insane. That's crazy. While he's a below the rim finisher at 6'4", with a non-explosive vertical, he recorded 0 dunks in the half court. It's kind of alarming to me. So no. Matter of fact,
really,
because Brunson don't dunk, and then championships ain't won off dunking. So all right, cool, no problem. He displayed great touch shooting, 59.6% on all layups, according to Synergy. Isaiah Khalid finished the season with an absurd 49.7 free throw rate. Jesus, Lord Jesus Christ, he get to the free throw line.
That's crazy.
He excelled putting rim pressure and as a playmaker. He finished with 31.1 assist percentage and a 1.3 assist turnover rate. Both marks as a great decision maker. He shot 39.4% on 33 mid-range jumpers, and 73.7% of his rim attempts were unassisted. So we know this guy can get his own shot.
His size, though, he's 6'1", right? Like that.
In the combine, I think he measured out 6'2" without shoes.
Right, that's the only concern I have already. Yeah. This is like I don't mind a smaller backcourt, but if I'm gonna have a smaller guy in the backcourt, he needs to be an all-star. Like I need another all-star. I'm not getting a rookie in the backcourt. I'd rather have Dante than if I'm having a rookie. But if I can get an all-star, sure. But I'm not drafting a rookie to start with Brunson in the backcourt. If you're talking about drafting somebody that could potentially be Brunson's backup, I'd rather them get the drafting stash kid, Rokas Jokubaitis. I'd rather them go after him. That'd be my guy. And then they can they need to focus on the things that they need the most. They have a lot of other things that they can pick up. Unless this kid that comes out is just amazing and he falls. Yeah, sure, you go after the talent available. But apart from that happening, you got to be able to draft the thing that you're going to utilize. I'm going to keep saying that. You just have, because there's no other way around it. You have to be able to do that, especially in the Tom Thibodeau. We've seen it already. If it reasons that the players you add, if they're Tom Thibodeau-like players and they'll get playing time, which has happened, and you'll do well, which has happened, then it would reason that if you draft those same players, that the same thing would happen.
Right.
So why not do that? I mean, I think that has to be the case. It's either talent available or what is going to fit under Tom Thibodeau. That's it. Has to be that.
Also, just to mention to Knicks fans, now the draft is 2 days. So to ask you a question about the draft, why do you think they put it 2 days? What strategic business move was that? Because that tells me that they don't want teams to rush anymore when it comes to dealing with certain trades, and things of that nature. But June 26th is the first round. June 27th is the second round of the NBA draft, and June 28th, one of the most important days in the past 5 seasons. Because June 28th is the deadline to waive Bojan Bogdanovic or guarantee his $19 million contract. When you guarantee his $19 million, that instantly tells me you're going to trade for a star. Or you're gonna get somebody who's really good. You get what I'm saying? So How do you feel about the second day? And to mention a guy who'll probably be there on the second day, Adibona. So, Jesus, I'll butcher his name. Oh my God, I'm so horrible with names. I'm horrible at names everywhere. Adibona, shout outs to him, man. Measuring 6'8", barefoot, weighing 243 pounds. He boasts a 7.3 wingspan, 9 foot standing reach. Um, I like this kid, man, for a second round pick. A guy that we could develop. He got the typical height of a guy that I would love behind Julius Randle. Um, just got to develop a shot, man. But you notice that he went from 57% as a freshman to 70% in his sophomore season. So it's improvement. And I think I heard this from Hubie Brown. The free throw percentage is usually the indicator of a good shooter. Always said that. I don't know if it was Hubie Brown or one of them. But how do you feel
Law of
about
averages is true about that.
yeah? So how do you feel about the second round of the New York Knicks? How would they play it? It's worth noting that the New York Knicks had no people from the lottery that was inside this playoff rotation this season. That's due diligence, that's scouting, that's having good infrastructure. Um, so how you feel about that, man? The 2 days, the Bojan, him opting in or us letting him walk, because it is a scenario where we let him walk, but it's only could be for one possible reason. But go ahead.
I think that the second round is huge because second round, first of all, not only do you get to celebrate more rookies because that's basically what it's about. You want to be able to celebrate the other rookies that are involved. Nobody gets to ever talk about that. The first round gets all the flowers. Second round really is the bastard child. Nobody talks about them. They get swept under the rug. So one reason you do it for celebration. The other reason is it is for scouting because there's a lot of talent in the second round. But it's hard to notice what that is when you don't know, number one, who's going to be there. Number two, when you're scouting for the first round, your focus is the first round. You're not thinking about the second round too much. You're just going to kind of figure it out as you go about it. Having that extra day gives you that extra insight. But more than that, once you get the extra day and you pick that kid up in the second round, did you know, Stig, you can sign that kid now to a multi-year contract? So the fact that you can do that with second round picks, and Leon Rose loves to get a steal of a pick, be able to lock them down for a contract for a very long, lucrative amount of time, that sounds like a Leon Rose move. That's why I'm saying, man, pick 38. Don't be surprised if that's the rookie that gets all that playing time. Because I think that's the draft pick, and I think those 2 first-round picks get traded for something else. What? I don't know yet. It's too soon to tell. Because I don't know the interest of teams yet. Once the Celtics destroy the Mavericks, then we'll talk about that. But until then, we have to wait and see.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely have to wait. We definitely have to wait and see. Talked about a lot of these young guys, man, and just trying to get better and talking about the draft and Bojan. Let's talk about the finals real quick. I'm really annoyed that I gotta watch the Leprechauns win another championship. Unfortunately. I listened to Alan Hahn. He said something that really stuck out to me earlier today, Paul. He said he doesn't know if both teams was fully healthy that the Knicks will win. He kept explaining his point. And I want to shout out to Alan Hahn for actually talking about it and bringing awareness to that. How do you feel about the finals? What are you learning about the finals for the New York Knicks right now? And also, what archetype of players are you looking for when it comes to watching NBA finals? Because that's what I've been studying, the whole NBA finals. How the hell are we going to beat the Celtics? Like, how are we going to beat these guys? And in my Substack article, I got 5 archetypes that I really want. So I think the Knicks will probably have like 6 or 7 new players on their team when I'm done with the Knicks. Because I'm going to try to win the chip. But how do you feel about the NBA Finals and what are you learning about the New York Knicks currently?
The NBA Finals for me, first of all, I'm learning a lot about Luca. I think we're all learning a lot about Luca, right? Luca Doncic for me. We're seeing the hero ball, the leading, the crying, the
I
defense.
see
I
that
mean,
much.
it's a it's
Oh,
a it, it's a lot. It's a lot taken for Luca. I think he's getting a lot of criticism unnecessarily, though. I do think that's happening as well too. It's at the end of the day, it's a game. Hey, it's the highest level of basketball he's playing. He's not allowed to get a little emotional. I think anybody can get a little emotional about that. So I'm not going to kill him too much. I don't really love the games though, Steve. If I'm being honest, I don't like seeing the Celtics just destroy people. It's not fun to watch that. It's not fun to watch the Celtics come back and win. It's not fun to watch the Celtics in green. I think with Alan Hahn and what you were mentioning, I think it's true. I think that the Knicks, if we were fully healthy, we'd give them a good challenge. Winning it might be, I don't know. I don't know how much confidence I'd put into that. But here's the thing though. We have the moves that we can make to get there. And we have the opportunity to do that this offseason. So I wouldn't be discouraged because I'm not saying that we don't have a chance without making those moves. But if you make those moves, you set yourself up in a better position. And why wouldn't you want to do that if you're the Knicks, especially if there's a trade available or a move available that allows you to get there a little bit faster? So I think I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the Knicks do once the offseason hits. I'm not talking about with the contracts. I'm not talking even about draft night so much. I'm talking about with not the players that they clearly have on their list that they're targeting. Because this Knicks team, we can say this Knicks team can do something, but I think we can all admit that they're missing pieces. We have to admit that. And I think it's okay to say, yeah, if healthy, they might be able to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and beyond. But if they make these moves, they definitely will get there. There's nothing wrong with saying that. And I think both those arguments can be had right now, given the roster that we have and the moves that we still can make. So I'm loving what we have right now. Knicks are in the best position we've ever been in, maybe 10, 15 years in terms of assets and front office and books and everything else. We are one of the best set up teams right now in the league, and it's only looking brighter for us. A mover to away state, and we're a championship contender each and every season. I don't remember the last time I've seen that. And Leon Rose is leading us all the way there.
and it's very interesting because we got into the draft and talked about some of these prospects. For me, this offseason and what Leon Rose has built these past couple of seasons, I just feel like the time is now. And I'm saying the time is now because if this new CBA wasn't set up the way it is, I wouldn't really harp on it. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to cost me to go in the second apron, and I believe in chat, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I believe if you go on the second apron, I believe your picks are frozen out 7 years out. Gotta look
That's the
that.
case. I know you're very limited in what you can do once you hit the
I
second
don't think
apron.
you could trade first. I don't think you could trade first. Like
No,
it.
I don't
Like
think I don't think the picks are limited. I think it's the contract, the amount of money that you can trade. It has to be exact. You can't exceed it. It can't be below it. It has to match it perfectly. And the type of trades to do that are very, very difficult to make. That's why it offers very limited um, flexibility once you hit it. It's obviously a lot of other things it does as well too, I'm sure, but you know, limiting your flexibility is definitely one of them.
so, the cap space is going to be 136 million. Tax 165 million. The first apron hard cap 172 million. The second apron 172 million is the first apron, and
Yep.
172, and then 182 is the second apron. The first and second apron are negatives because the team pays luxury tax at the end of the year over the two values. The newest apron added it entitles many penalties towards team building if a team goes over. Read the okay. I mean, the penalties now is All right, so the second apron. This is the worst possible zone to be in. Only owners with money to burn will be in this spot. Some penalties are being in this zone are not allowed to trade cash. Goes into effect in 2024. Can't use the tax MLE, the 5 million. Can't trade first round picks 7 years away, 2031. Can't sign a
Damn.
player bought out. Can't sign a player bought out during the season. Can acquire a combination of players or a player with higher incoming salary than the players outgoing. For example, 35 incoming, 33 outgoing is not allowed. Trade exemptions can only be used in 1 year. These motherfuckers.
Damn, man. Stay the fuck away, bro. That's why you got to trade Mitch. Oh, y'all want to protect these y'all babies and shit. Trade Mitch, man. You got to get better here, bro. You can draft his backup. You draft his backup. You keep it moving, bro. You already know what the deal is, man. We know what you got to do, State. We know what it is, man.
Oh, my goodness.
You think a trade's not coming, paying all that damn money. Get out of here, man.
It's a lot of penalties, man. It's a lot of penalties, man. Yeah, my lord, bro. Your shot
You don't
guy,
want to be there, bro. You don't want to be there.
Oh shit.
You don't want to be there, bro.
Oh man.
Man.
Oh,
As you were reading it, my whole body, like my soul left my body as you were reading that shit. Like I didn't want to hear no more, bro. It's terrible. Every level.
Yo, in the first tax apron, this is the beginning
God.
of what I call the negative zone. The first tax apron marks when a team will pay luxury tax, and a team only has access to the tax mid-level exemption to sign free agents. The tax mid-level exemption is 5 million 2023, 2024, and goes against the tax. So I'm like, you know, it's when to go home. If you're going to be this hamstrung as far as building your roster, I think the CBA right now is basically and Eddie. I see Eddie in the chat. Appreciate Eddie in the chat, man. Appreciate it.
What's up, Eddie?
Yo, what's up, Eddie? I think the way you got to build your team right now, moving forward, you might have to build through the draft. If you're not if you're in the second apron, you're forced to,
because you have no choice. Yeah, you have no choice.
Yeah, you literally have no choice. Now the first apron, you do have some wiggle room and you do have some movement, but
Listen, man, a trade is coming, State. A trade has to come. You have to trade. You have to trade. That's why the draft is important. Because let's say they do draft the center. What does that mean?
I mean, iHeart or Mitch is gone.
It means Mitch is gone. Get that right.
iHeart or Mitch is gone.
Mitch is gone. You forgot
that. iHeart or Mitch is gone. Why would I trade the player who's making less? Why?
Not about the contract. It's about the impact. Oh my lord.
Mitch impact the game too. What do you?
How many games? How many games?
Yo.
How many games? That's not relevant. All right, that's not relevant. All right, cool.
I stat moves you right now.
Tell me how many games. How many games on average does Mitchell Robinson miss per season? Tell me that. Now you want to tell me those stats? That's not fun for you. I apologize.
25.
25. 25 maybe for the start of his career. As it gets worse as you go by.
25. But shout out to coach. Also, the cap is going to
about 200 million.
Yeah, about 2028. Eddie right here, he's in the chat. If you're in the second apron, you have to build a true championship contender.
Yeah, that piece that you trade for needs to make you over the top contenders. Absolutely. I 100% agree with Eddie. Has to. There's no other way.
Bogey and Mitch are gone dry. I guarantee it.
Ooh, he guaranteed it. He guaranteed it. Remember that. You got bucket that. Bookmark that tweet.
Bookmark that. We're going
to guaranteed it. I want to get him back for that one if they don't.
My only thing when it comes to
how do you feel about that? What if they did that? If they packaged the picks, Mitch and Bogey for I don't know, a top 10 pick?
No.
You wouldn't feel good about it?
No.
And they drafted where with the pick?
No. Because I wouldn't spend a top 10 pick on where. I'm going to get Stephen Castle. I'm drafting Ron Holland. If I get a top 10 pick, yeah, I got a philosophy. I don't know about you. My philosophy when I draft, I'm never taking the big over the wing of the guard. If it's close, I'm taking the wing of the guard. And then when it gets to the wing of the guard, can that wing get his own shot? Tatum, for example. Did you watch Tatum at Duke? No way. If you were a sober man or a God-fearing man or a man who smoked weed, look at Tatum and look at folks and say, I'm gonna take Fultz over Tatum. No way. No way. So I'm going for the upside. I'm going for the look. OG Anunoby, Paperman, Ron Holland, 18 years old. But,
oh my god, this Paperman shit is ridiculous, bro. This kid when he plays for us destroys teams, defends all of the best players on the opposing team, and you call him Paperman? What paper person does that? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
I think it got some ring to it. I watched Paperman on Disney Plus.
All right, well, keep it to yourself. They don't have nothing to do with OG Anunoby, all right? Keep your damn hobbies to yourself. Don't mix it with OG Anunoby.
So, just bringing it back to the New York Knicks, we spoke about the draft. There's a lot of guys out there. And the 5 archetypes that I'm looking for, once again, I wrote a Substack article about it. I want a tall wing, 6'5" to 6'8". I want a new starter next to Brunson. I want a new starter. I'm making that clear. It's a 543 nigga. And it's no disrespect to Big Fazad. There's no disrespect.
You said you want to draft somebody?
No. Tall wing starter, meaning I'm trading for this guy. Like I'm getting a guy. I'm not going into September without a guy. I told you I'm getting a guy at all costs. So
what guy, man? You gotta wait, bro. We don't even know who's gonna be available. There's no disgruntled star list yet. What do you want anybody to do besides, look at what the news is happening right now and kind of respond to it? There's no news saying that a superstar is going to the Knicks right now. We gotta wait for that. We have no idea what the Knicks are gonna do the second that they can do something. Right now, we gotta wait. Obviously, when the NBA finals end, they can start extending people. That might happen tomorrow.
So, and then the next archetype I'm looking for, young wing, which we talked about when it comes to drafting. The third archetype that I'm looking for, young big, because I feel like Mitch or iHeart is gone draft night. Like one of them is gone. It's like somebody's going. Somebody's absolutely gone.
Yeah, Mitch.
The fourth, archetype that I was looking for, I need a goon, man. I'm sick. I'm sick of the pretty boy nonsense, man. And you know what made me more want to go even more? I watched Patrick Beverley interview Deuce
McBride. That was a great interview too.
Great interview, bro. Great. Yeah, oh my god, great interview. And when you do interviews like that means Miles McBride got his number. That means they gonna train this summer when everything go right and you're gonna pick up some things. But I'm looking for the goon archetype. Patrick Beverley, vet minimum, Markieff Morris, somebody just keep the locker room together. And somebody who can work with the rookies. You got Mo Cheeks. I'm trying to build like some camaraderie here. You get what I'm saying? And I got PJ Tucker, Patrick Beverley, all these guys, Keith Morris, and those guys. And the last but not least, the fifth archetype I'm looking for, a draft and stash or a guy who will draft like a guy will draft and he won't play probably until the middle of the season. That's what I would like to see. And 6, probably another vet. And I think the Knicks should be.
Hold on. I'm not gonna let you say some shit and then say some bullshit and let me not respond. What rookie in your fucking mind would Tom Thibodeau not play for the first half of the fucking season and then play the second half of the season?
Nicola Topic?
He would. That kid's not coming back this year. He's gonna be red shirt. You know that. First of all. Second of all, even if he does come back,
that's even better.
Even if he does come back, you think this kid's? You think he's going to see time this season with the Knicks?
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna work back slowly after a major surgery and play this year, half the season, not even given a full training camp or understanding any of the schemes or schematics of what they're trying to run. With Tom Thibodeau locked on his rotation probably at that time already. Keep going, though. I'll wait.
You know that saying when they say you just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks?
Well, all your shit fell off. I'll tell you that right now. Ain't nothing stuck. All of it fell off. You failed. Sorry.
But it's a lot of guys that could be on the trading block. You know, Cat, we talked about Cat. You know, Zach LaVine stuff. The Zach LaVine, OG Anunoby, Brunson. Oh my God, I gotta keep Randall with that. And iHeart, that sounds like a championship team. It's guys like Herb Jones, Trey Murphy III. What is the Pelicans doing with those guys? Do you want to go on the 2nd April? That's
Brandon Ingram's gone, by the way, so they're gonna keep Trey, obviously, because BI is gone. That's how they remove that whole aspect of it. I don't know where the hell BI goes. I thought he was gonna go to Cleveland, but if Cleveland wants to keep Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and all those other guys, then maybe not. That's really dumb. Why the hell would they keep Darius and Donovan when you could have BI and Donovan? Makes no sense. Rather just trade for BI and see how that works. Clearly, because the Darius not working.
Would you trade for BI?
As the Knicks?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck no.
Why not?
It don't work. It don't look good at all. Because either if I get to magically keep Randall, that don't work. And if I have to trade Randall, that definitely don't work. So either way.
That's true, but what if they trying to shed money?
What does that mean? Are you shed money? How much money is BI about to make?
That mean that
shed money. What you shedding $1 million?
No, that means that Mitchell Robinson, Bojan Bogdanovic, and I think something else will have to go in a deal for a guy like Ingram, and then you will be re-signing him.
Right, because every team in the world wants that garbage for Ingram.
I mean, if I'm trying to get somebody on the low, that's what I seen Kyrie.
Who are you getting on the low?
I don't know, bro. I'm looking at.
And so you want Leon Rose to get somebody, and you mad as hell because Leon Rose won't get nobody, and you have no idea who he should get either.
No, I'm throwing the names out there. I'm throwing about 10, 15 goddamn names.
He's throwing out draft picks, sure, but he can't draft yet. He has no idea who's on the board, number one. Number two, any of the stars you mean, you have no idea if they're going to be available. No idea if they're disgruntled. So what you want him to do? You can't keep getting mad at Leon for doing stuff he can't do now. You just mad at nothing. You be mad at nothing then. You mad at him for making a move he can't make. What you want the man to do? He can't do nothing. It's not the offseason. He legit can't do shit. And you mad at him. That make you look like a hater. That make you look like you hating on him because you want him to do something he physically can't do right now.
Because I feel like hating on him. I don't like the fact we lost Indiana, yo. I'm still salty.
Yo. I'm mad too, but you don't see me freaking blaming everybody else whose fault is not. You can blame the Knicks. You can blame the Knicks who was playing. I get all that. You blame the injuries if you want to. Whatever you want to blame, I don't care. But we all know Knicks fully healthy, we winning. We know.
Yo, man, the NBA Finals. I hope the Knicks could get there, bro. That shit probably going up. Imagine being up 3-0, bro.
Oh, man. New York could be on fire. New York could be hot right now, and no matter where you were, you'd probably feel New York shake. It'd be ridiculous. Ridiculous. You had to call out everybody. Nobody would be working in New York. I think the entire city would be off right now. It had to be a holiday. You can't work right now.
I'm calling out, bro. Yo,
there's no way.
Yo, why are you calling out? Yo, the Knicks want a chip. Yo, I think you already know what's up, bro.
I gotta chill somewhere else. I'm sorry, bro.
We go. we ain't doing this, man. Knicks want a chip, man. I'm sick to my
The
stomach.
city shut down. I'm telling you, bro. It'd be a national holiday. I'm telling you. It'd be ridiculous. You couldn't drive that day. You couldn't do shit that day. You better walk everywhere. Pretend you could, like, you better hope you could catch a train somewhere. That's the only way you getting around. You ain't driving in the city. You ain't driving the fuck anywhere. No way.
Hell no.
I think no matter where you went, and the crazy part, because New York is like so expanded to globes, you might see parties in Brazil and France. Like, you got Germany, you got Knicks fans everywhere. You're ridiculous.
Yo, that's my fear too. JD, random goddamn Abby. If we were healthy, we'll win because we'll never all be healthy. That's why I'm trying to avoid this shit. And that's why I'm glad me and Recap had this wonderful conversation. I'm glad that the Mo Cheeks and like all of the news that came out today, the Thibs interview and everything, you with the Marc Berman, all of this, and how like the Knicks culture is just so like apparent now. Watching the Celtics go on the verge of winning their 18th championship, it's time to go. It's time to go, man. We building something, but hopefully we can continue. That's what I pray and hope to God. Shout out to Leon Rose though. But the job is not finished. Like you gotta. I hope he's watching the finals, bro. I'm praying to God. I know he is, but
everybody is.
No, it's certain Knicks fans who told me they're not watching the finals. I asked them on Spaces why you're not watching the finals. Dude gonna say, "Oh, because I'm so hurt that the Knicks." So how you gonna scout your opponent? Are you watching Bloodsport? You see Bolo in the stands. You looking at with John Claude. You looking at him in the stand. Like, yeah, you gotta scout your opponent.
Take notes, take notes.
Come on now. But recap, man. What time is it? It's 12:53 a.m. Christ, it's 550 people here.
Wow,
man. Wow. This was a great this was a great one. Wow, 550 people. I appreciate y'all, man. I give y'all a personal hand clap, man. Y'all are so great. Y'all are so great, man. It's so great.
Appreciate y'all.
Recap. What do you have coming out soon? I know you always got some jumping on the timeline. Do you have any special guests that you coming on the show within the next 2 weeks? Because I know you got a rabbit out the hat, man. The Berman joint, that was like listening to like that shit was like Eddie Murphy and Golden Child, like.
Oh man, Bourbon is goated. He's good. There's a lot of articles out there right now. Got a lot of friends at Bleacher Report, obviously, who've written a lot of different articles. So I got a couple people from Bleacher Report coming on. So I can't wait for that Bleacher Report stuff coming on. And I got another important guest coming on from The Ringer. Hopefully, I'm just trying to get in touch with them. But I'm very excited because he used to work for Bleacher Report. I followed him for almost his entire career. We were supposed to do an interview in the season, but unfortunately things didn't happen, so we weren't able to do that. So I'm going to get him on. And there might be a couple of other guests down the pipeline. I'm working on a couple of things. You might see some faces you're familiar with and get some information you never thought you could get. But I'm not going to say any more than that. I got to work out some things. And I'm the type of guy that believes that if you say it before it's done, it won't happen. I'd rather get the work done. And then when I know it's done, I announce it. But trust when I say a lot is coming this offseason. I know it's an offseason for basketball, but it's not an offseason for me. I don't take offseason. If anything, I'm dropping a video tomorrow about the real reason why Randall rejoined CAA. So that's going to be a good one tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Definitely catch that video.
Yo, that's a fact, yo. No off season for us, bro.
Never. 24/7 forever. You find something to talk about forever.
This shit just gets started. I got a draft pod coming up Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta go to a basketball. I'm going to a basketball game. And then I got Sunday is Father's Day. Like it's like and Sunday, what I'm gonna do, I'll probably run a live stream or some early morning, probably dedicated to Pop Dukes. You know, put that shit on the balcony. Had the sun beaming. You know, talk about some Knicks, man. But the finals about to be over. New merch coming out as well. Make sure y'all go to Recap website. Go cop Recap merch, man. Great graphic designer. Does a lot. He actually fixed the podcast logo. So this is like the updated version of like, and so that's what I've been wearing lately, man. But you gotta appreciate guys like that, man. And people who's hard workers, man. It should just get started. The final, as soon as the finals is done, that's when the hard part comes. Crazy. Because it's about to be crazy. But shouts to you, man. Shouts to you, Recap, man. And shouts to all you wonderful Knicks fans, man. Y'all are so great, man. Shouts to my guy Eddie, man. Eddie, I apologize, bro. What we do, bro? You know, bro. I dropped the link for you. You know where to be found, bro. But with that said, your Recap, man. Salute to you.
Yes, sir.
Salute to all you goddamn crazy Knicks fans that's in the goddamn chat. And we both out of here, man. Peace and blessings, man. God bless.
Appreciate you.